Good
Welcome
morning.
to the Good Morning. We are here this morning, and looks like I'm dragging, so I'm gonna go out and
Good
come back.
morning, good morning. Happy
Good
Making Money
morning,
Monday.
everybody.
Making it marvelous. Making
Yes.
it great. Making it everything that you have called it to be.
Everything.
I'm telling y'all, I'm out of breath. But I'm okay.
Oh yeah, girl. You on set. That's all that matters, baby.
Y'all, today is a good day to have a good day. Today is a day to be empowered. Today is the day. You have to demand your day.
Yes, you do.
I was in prayer last night, and God said, you have been asking, but you haven't been demanding. It's a difference. Asking is still asking for permission. You still asking, please, please do this, please. Your promises are already what he has given us. So why haven't you demand life line up the way it needs to line up? Whatever doors you open, why aren't you speaking those doors to come into your life? Manifestation. Right. Why aren't you manifestation? Why aren't you speaking out your manifestation? We're still talking about creating a vision board, but why won't you create a manifestation board? Why won't you speak some manifestations? Because a vision, when you say a vision board, that comes from God's vision. That's not your vision. That is God's visions for your life. So let's go and get this right in manifestation and get our visions. Download those visions that God has for you as well, so that you can walk into everything that God has for you. You ain't leaving nothing on the table. So good morning, Farika. Good morning, everybody. I can't see your comments, but good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. You know what? I love that you talked about manifestation, because we were coming back on the road yesterday, listening to the radio, and the guy was talking about manifestation. And am I still freezing?
Just going in and out for some reason, but it could be my end. Just keep on going.
But anyway, he was talking about manifestation. Yeah, it looked like I was froze for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back out.
Okay. So, and the thing I love about manifestation, the beginning of it is man. So when God refers to man, he refers to a woman and a male. That's man. People like that, a man. And then he has in the middle I. So again, he's talking to you.
Right.
and then the fest. And then when you fest out things, it's when you think of a festival or a fest that you're getting ready to have, you think of lots of stuff, a lot of food, a lot of overflow of things. So the word itself is standing up and saying who I am. This is my word for the year, my time of manifestation. Yes, Manifestation Monday. It's time to stop playing patty cake with what you need. Stop being it. That fear. We've been talking about fear all year long. We're going into April and you still fearful? Come on.
You got to release that thing. And I love that. Like I said, you were talking about manifestation. We were on the way home yesterday, and listened to the radio, and the guy was talking about manifestation, and it's so funny that you tied that in already this morning. But he was saying you got to see where you're wanting to go. You got to know your end game. And then once you put it out there and say, this is what I want to manifest, he was talking about, I want to manifest being married with 2 kids. I want to manifest being a program director or having my, music play in multiple venues in multiple cities, and so he said, once you put it out there, once you know what your end game is, that's when everything starts coming together. God starts putting things, because he says, Jeremiah 29:11, I know the plans I have for you. So when you manifest it, he starts bringing resources and people and all these different things that you need for what you're manifesting to come into reality, and so that is the thing, like Sparkle said, we start out the year talking about being bold, and you can't be bold and still be sitting on the couch. You can't be bold and still be afraid to step out into what you say you want. You can't be bold and scared to ask for the raise or the promotion. You can't be bold and still be sitting by the wayside and letting life happen. That's just not, the two things don't line up. You know how they say one of these things is not like the other?
Exactly.
It's not going to happen if you're not actively pursuing, because faith without works is dead. So we can pull things out of the Bible that we can cliche say, but if you're not walking in it, if you're not moving in it, if you're procrastinating and hesitating, it's not going to happen.
It's not. I'm glad you said what your end game. What's your end game? When basketball games and teams come together, their whole end game is to win the championship game. To win the championship. That's their end game. So all through the season, they going through whatever they have to go, practice after practice, games. We're always still in this game. We need to win this game. We need to win this game. We need to win this game. So that at the end of the season, they rate high. So that means it's the higher they rate, they're going to play in that championship game. So they know their end game. So if the world understands the end game, we have to understand, what is your end game?
Right. You have to have a vision. The vision is showing you where you're going. It's giving you the picture of what your end game looks like. But for some reason, we have a disconnect. You can do a vision board and still not start putting into motion. You know what I'm saying? You can say that, oh, I want to go out here and create an academy and never study or never research it or never do anything. So therefore, you can say it, but it's not going to come if you don't put the action behind it. You can say that, I want to get married and have kids, but if you never either put yourself in a position where you're going to meet some people, you're not going to that's not going to happen inside your house.
No, it's not.
And people got to know it. People got to know their end game. For example, we was at Scream Out Kelly Boynes for her birthday party. We was at her birthday party on Saturday. It's great to celebrate people. If you're not in that celebrating others mindset, what's in it for you? Nothing. I mean, what's in it for you is you celebrate her. So we was at the celebration, and Dwayne loves me. Dwayne takes me as one of his own. Like, when I say that man loves me, he be like, he ain't gonna let nothing happen to me, nothing going on. Yes, he takes good care of his wife and his children, but he be like, where's Sparkle? Like, where's she at? I need to make sure she okay. And I was saying I was getting ready to drive by home, and he was like, no, you can come to the house. Like, when people see you and they see your end game and they protect you and they making sure, that's the same with your vision. When people around you know your vision is to make sure you always good, then they're gonna stick in and make sure they're good. But my whole point was, he was talking to somebody that he knew. He know I'm single, so he came and introduced me to this guy, because he know the end of game is Sparkle do want to be with somebody. Now, Sparkle ain't thirsty. Let's crack this out. but my end game is to be with the man that God has called for me.
Exactly.
That's the end game. But I'm saying other people should know your vision too. If your people around you know your vision, then they're gonna, if they see a tip, and Dwayne don't do that. That's why I
Well,
know
let me interrupt you because I'm glad that you said that.
He had already studied. Make sure you good. Make sure it wasn't just no joker that was just sitting at the bar.
No, honey, and we've been talked about this before Dwayne even talked about it. I've been said this a long time ago. It's just so happened that it happened in motion. Me and Angela been talked about this way like about 2 years ago. Way about 2 years. It just so happened to be in the right setting. Was it not, sis?
But that's just, you know what, timing and opportunity. And this is the thing, when you put something out in the atmosphere, it is not for you to think that, okay, I want to get married tomorrow. I want to get married right now. Woo, 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 woo. But you put it out there that I would like to be married sometime. And so now people put seeds, and Regina and I were talking, you know, and it was so funny that he was the one that actually made
I was
the connection.
cracking up. I was gagging over that. I was like,
and by no thing, like I never said, oh hey, you know what, I think you should do this on his own accord. He was like, you know what? He said, do she know this person? I was like, I don't think so. He was like, let me go get him and make an introduction. I was like, oh.
But my whole point is, like, how are people gonna help your vision? How they gonna help your manifestation come? How they're not gonna help you if you sitting in that corner? I ain't gonna tell nobody. I mean, I would love to but I ain't gonna tell nobody. I'm not gonna tell nobody. Like, you better tell it. You better talk about it because somebody has your keys sitting in their hand.
Exactly. This is like the man on the radio when he put it out there. Do you know how many people probably listen to that and may say, really like his show? Because and you know what he was saying also, you got to be true to who you are. He said, you know, he was playing music and people used to complain about, you know, he always, you know, it runs too long, he does this too much and all this and the other. But there's somebody out there who likes what you do just like you do it. And he said, as a result of him staying true to who he is and not falling and flaking, trying to be what everybody else said he should be, he did what he said God told him to do. That was how his thing is. And now he's on a syndicated radio show. Now he's out here, you know, getting people to support his vision. Now he's getting people to call him and say, hey, we want you to show up in X, Y, and Z place. This is the thing. As you're manifesting, as you're putting it out in the atmosphere, it still has to be authentic. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love. And I shout out Reverend Pat, because Reverend Pat in 2025 has been showing out. She's been doing the daily devotional with Reverend Pat, but she came out with her sisterhood chat, you know, that comes every other week, which is powerful. Then she came out with her podcast that she's doing now. So it's like, I've had visions, I've had things in my mind, but it's all has to come at the appointed time. When you have something in your head, it's like things have, it's like baking a cake. When Sparkle, when Farika said, Sparkle, make that strawberry cake, she put it out there. Now Sparkle has to put the ingredients together, but it's still got to go in the oven and wait.
It still has to go in the oven.
You're mixing the things up to put in the oven to let it do what it do, so that when it comes out, it's the end product of what you're looking for. But that takes some time.
Yes, Angela, what I love about putting the ingredients together, you got to stir that thing up. You got to stir it up. That's the life. You got to stir it up. You got to stir it up. See, you can't just listen to everybody else, and you got to stir it and make sure all the loops and the cups and all that stuff is
once
out
you get a pocket that has some flour and some stuff just sitting right there, you're like, let me get that in there. Because if not, it's going to be messy.
Taste those big old flour pots. Because I'm telling you, when you put them big lumps in your thing, your cake gonna come out bad. Regardless of how much love you put in it. But you didn't put enough love in it to stir it all up. Whip up. If your arms aren't hurting, you haven't started to stir it hard enough. It's just a great
analogy, because the more that you stir, your arm starts getting tired, but you know that you got to keep mixing and keep mixing and keep mixing until it's all together. That is the reality of life.
When you get to muscle failure, baby, when you get to muscle failure, that's where the growth is. So when you start seeing
where the growth is.
Failure, Honey, that's where the
You
muscle
like,
growth
I'm
is.
tired. I'm so tired.
You're
I'm
growing
sick
in
and tired
that
of being
tire,
tired, but you
baby.
still keep
Yes.
on going. You keep on going because you know what your end game is.
Yes. Like Paula said, timing is everything. You're welcome,
Everything.
Run Pat. This is the thing. We are in a microwave society, and society has made you think that just because you see on social media somebody else blowed up overnight, no, they didn't. It was a process. It
No,
took
they
some
didn't.
time. And the very
Delayed
people that say,
gratification is the most powerful thing that you can literally.
girl, because
Delayed
delay does not
gratification.
mean denied.
Right.
Delay does not mean denied. And this is the thing we have to be very careful for. You know how people will tell you, oh, you still doing that little thing? Y'all still doing that? Y'all been doing this for a long time. Ain't nothing
Girl,
happened.
when they say that little thing, oh, you wanna punch him, and the guy like,
No, honey, you little. That's when you say little, that means how that when you project little and you say little out of your vocabulary means you really little.
This is the
Yes.
thing. People will put you on their time schedule. But the thing about it is,
Definitely.
if you wait upon the Lord, what he
Yes,
has for you will take you and blow you up to a whole nother level. See, if you're running on somebody else's, on man's timetable, and you think, well, I got to do this because everybody's saying this, we've been here too long and we're doing it, or they still ain't did nothing with that. Okay. But in God's timing is when things manifest. You look at Kevin Hart, or you look at all these different people who have been doing things and they finally get their opportunity. It did not happen overnight. You can go back and ask them how many times they stayed up late at night, how many times people have cried because you're investing money and time and it's like it's not going to happen. How many times you consistently show up every good morning, Cynthia Lewis. Cynthia says she might not be here because she's traveling, baby. She in New York City, but she
Yes, baby.
hello.
New
Hey,
York.
Cynthia, hey. Cynthia's honey out here doing her thing, baby. They met
Love
me
it.
and
Love
doing
it.
big
Love it.
things,
Love
honey,
it.
enjoying herself. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. But it's the manifestation. You have to wait. They that wait upon the Lord will renew your strength. You're not
Renew, he
gonna wait
Right,
said.
like
either because
eagles.
you get second wins, but you can't count yourself out because of what everybody else saying, what they think, and what time they think. You know how many people say, you ain't married now? When you
Oh
gonna
my
get married?
gosh. You not
You ain't got
married
no
yet?
kids now. When you gonna have a child? You ain't started that business now. What you
Right,
it's so
Paula.
many people who feel like you got to be on their schedule.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't.
Girl, you still trying that? You still working on that business? Girl, you still there? Yes.
Come on, Paula. Paula said it's a process, but you can't bake the cake forever. You can't stay comfortable in the warm oven, and that's what it is.
And that's the
Comfortability will
crazy
make
part because a
you
person could stay at a job for 30 years and talking about, oh, yeah, I'm still here and say, I've been here for 30 years. Okay, 30 years, they don't care about you because if you get sick and something happens, you will be replaced within a second.
Or
boom.
I take it
Period.
another step that you've been there 30 years and you've been trying to get that leadership position, and people look at you like, when are you? And then that 30th year, you do get it. So it doesn't matter. Like in their time, you should have left them. You should have walked on away. But you don't know what God was teaching you in that state.
In that season.
What you being
Because it's a
prepared
state
for?
season. Yeah, God has you sit down and stay some places, some season, because He's teaching you how to handle these people, how to handle life without letting them throw you off your tank. So people say quick, however God bless me, I'll be satisfied. Are you true with that? Are you? Is it just the song that you like?
Right.
Are you? Is that really your truth?
Right.
That's true.
Let's keep it. I'm gonna wait on the Lord. Daddy, wait on. I'm gonna wait on you. Is that true to you though? Is that your true heart?
Can you still keep being consistent with what he told you until he blesses you the way you want to be blessed? Reverend Pastor, I'm not moving on anything until God tells me to move. His timing is perfect. When other folk don't get it, keep doing you. God's timing is perfect. You have to, but at the same time, you got to be obedient to when he says move. See, like
when God moves,
Paula said, you can't just stay in the warm oven when it's time to take the cake out. If you don't take the cake out when it's time to take the cake out, guess what? You're gonna over dry the cake, and it's gonna be nasty because people gonna be like,
exactly. And
and
you're right about that when you say when God moves, because when I left my career of 13 and a half years, I moved and everybody was like, what are you doing? I went from there to being self-employed within like less than a month. You see what I'm saying? And it was at that timing when God said move. If I didn't move, I would still be stuck in a position. If I didn't move, I wouldn't be in the position that I am now. If I didn't move, my second business wouldn't be birth, sacred healing. Like you said, I was in a position of learning and understanding and getting the concept and preparation.
That's
where I
what
am
I'm
today.
talking about.
You
But
see what I'm
you were
saying?
still in a preparation season. So
Yes.
people think like Regina just popped out with a new business. No, Regina didn't just pop out with a new business. Regina been working on this business forever. And what you just got to see it.
Right.
Exactly. Run past it. I've learned so much in my waiting season. I can't even tell it all. Paula said,
Ooh, say that
stay in
again,
tune
Reverend
with
Pat, 'cause I
God
can't wait to tell
and
it all
stay
either.
connected so you can hear the ding in the oven timer to let you know when it's time to take the cake out. If you don't
Come on, Ding.
Come on, Ding.
There go my bell. I can't find my bell.
you gotta
Ding.
hear the ding. Listen,
Get the ding.
Ding,
but
ding,
you
ding,
gotta
ding.
be mindful.
If she don't go get that cake when that ding go off, now it's going to burn. It's going to dry out, and it's no good no more.
No more.
It's no good.
Throw it in the trash.
Nobody
Because
wants.
she didn't go
Even
get that
ice cream
cake when
won't
that
help it.
ding come off. It's the same with life, y'all. It's the exact same. When God, they'd be like, I wanted to do that business. She doing exactly what I wanted to do. Okay, what you wanted to do, but you didn't move. You didn't go with that ding.
You didn't. You ignored the ding.
Right.
You ignored it because you said you weren't ready. But the reality of most things is you're never ready.
You're never
What
ready.
God
Not
has
100%.
for you.
Heck no.
You're never
right here
ready
has
when
to
God.
be ready. This mindset got to be ready to say, you know what? No matter what comes my way, I'm gonna do it. I don't care what nobody says. I'm gonna do it. It's your
that's
vision.
not knowing, right? Regina,
And that's not knowing. Do you know how many people have children? You don't know as a parent. You're going along with the flow. This is your first, even with your second kid, because they're different. You have to, it's an on-the-job learning experience.
Right.
You got to roll with the flow and go with the punches, baby, because when you're a new parent, you don't know the baby crying. You're like, what's wrong? I changed the diaper. I fed you.
Hey.
What's wrong? Sometimes they just need you to rock them. Sometimes they just need you to sing to them. Sometimes you need to put them in the car seat and take them for a ride. Sometimes, somebody else may take over and they can get the baby quiet, but whatever it is, you're not always prepared. You don't have it like that to say, oh, I know exactly what happened.
But you do know your baby going to be okay, right?
But you already know that no matter what, I'm going to make sure this baby's going to be good. Whatever I got to do. If I got to stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning, rocking and padding and all that, I'm tired, but I'm still going to do it. Hey, Kelly, good morning. Miss Doris, you heard the dawn, but not the ding.
Yeah. I mean, I can say that truly about parenting. Yeah, I had it in my mind. I was never having kids. I never wanted children ever in my life. When they told me I was pregnant, the only reason why I didn't get to have the abortion is because I passed out at work. So, and my godmother had to come get me. That's the only reason why it didn't happen.
And you're a beautiful mother.
But this is the thing, because I didn't believe in me. I didn't believe that motherhood is something I could do.
I understand where you're coming from that. I understand.
So I was like, and even when I was pregnant, all I did was cry and, oh my gosh, but I kept on moving. I kept on going. I kept on going to class. Y'all, Alicia went to class with me. Like I kept, my mindset was, you might not wanted this.
Right.
But this is where you at. And since this is where you at, this is what we're gonna do. I can't imagine life without Alicia.
Girl.
Were you young? Were you in college?
I was 25. I was 25 years old.
So you had a pivotal stage in your life.
Nobody can tell me nothing.
In college, you know what I'm saying? You was at a pivotal stage in your life.
Yes, I was in college.
Right.
I was a junior in college when I got pregnant, and went into my senior year. I graduated that next year. Wow. But I'm saying, I in my mind, I hadn't got pregnant all these years. I've been doing all this all my years. So I thought I was untouchable. Like,
I got you, honey. No.
I was praising God. I was like, okay, God, something wrong with me. Thank you, Jesus. Something wrong with me. I can't have kids. I'm praising. He's like, huh? Who said what? But the thing is, I was being when I was hot as a firecracker, y'all. If God made the timing was so perfect because it put a stop.
It stopped.
It was a complete stop.
Cynthia said, look at God's plan.
Yeah.
Because look at Elisha now. Look how much wisdom and maturity and just a beautiful spirit that she is.
Yes.
Yeah, you raised a beautiful woman.
And look at the bond that her and I share. We are really a team here at this house. We are a team. So I can't imagine. It just goes back, and I tell God all the time, thank you for knowing my plans. Thank you for not listening to me.
Amen, Kathy.
Kathy said, honey, listen, she was with Walmart after she retired, been there for 35 years, started her baking business in memory of her mama. She would meet the customers to deliver desserts to them, but God grew it to where she's sending orders through FedEx now. You
I know that's right. And I remember
you
when
don't
she
know
started.
What God will do. And look at the key thing she said. She was at Walmart for 35 years. She didn't just, start baking at 35 years.
Who was that one lady that used to bake for us at all our events? Renitha? Is her name Renitha?
I know who you I don't know her name though.
Anyway, let me tell you what. Kathy, when Kathy was ready to retire, she was very serious. She says, Regina, I want to do a baking business, but I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. And I remember saying, you know what? There's this lady and she's doing it. And let me go ahead and give you the information. When I tell you that lady, I can't, forgive me if you're on here watching, forgetting your name. I'm so sorry. But she was kind enough to impart and give her what she did and what she went through and how she succeeded. Now look at Kathy. She's sending stuff through FedEx because she prepared herself. Go ahead, Kathy.
Yes, congratulations.
Think about the fact that Kathy been baking. She just started the baking business after Walmart. It wasn't that she just learned how to bake. She been baking the whole time.
She just knew the business.
It's the fact that sometimes when Miss Renita, she said it is something. The whoopie pie lady. Yes,
whoopie pie. There it is, Renita. Okay, yeah.
It's the fact that sometimes you can be doing what you're supposed to be doing. You just haven't put it out there in business format. But look how long she's been doing it before she actually put it into a business. She has worked for 35 years. Now she's doing a business. That's the thing about manifestation and putting things out there. It's not a genie in a bottle that you just blow on and say, grant me this right now, and then it just drops and happens. You're not doing that. This is the thing where you continue to do what you do until God says, now is the time that I need you to go forward and put this out into the atmosphere.
Now is the time. Now let's go. And I'm telling you, when God has let's go spirit ready for you, when he say let's go, you're gonna be like, okay, how's all this coming together? Because then that's when some suddenly start kicking in. You know, you go from you seeing it coming, waiting, and then you jump in there. And then when you jump in there, some suddenly people, you just start bumping into people like, I love cakes. Oh, what are you? I want some. And then that person tells that person, that person tells that person, that person tells that person. And you like, wow. Exactly. Wow, God. God knows the plans he has for you. But when he knows it, he tells you. So when he tells you, listen to what God is saying. That is not just the idea that's in your mind. Stop calling everything, oh, I had this idea. No, when it comes to your mind, you stop and listen to God. Is this what you have me to do on this time, at this moment? You know how many people are dead in the grave, y'all, that God gave them so many visions. You know how many visions are sitting in the graveyard?
Yes.
Because there's like, I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have this. Like we are the people quick to say what we don't have versus what we do have.
Exactly. Or you're right. You're waiting on a specific person to validate the idea for you. And if they don't validate it, you feel like it's not worthy. There's so many people who are expecting your family and friends to support what you do. They may never do it. They may never show up and support you.
You can bank on that, baby. You can bank
on that. Don't wait for your bloodline to get it.
Take that to
this is the thing. Your bloodline will know that you are empowering. You do events. You do all things. They never show up to your events, but they over there at Billy Bob's
But they in power session.
We had such a good time. Oh, we had such a good time. Girl, I know I've been probably once a month, and you ain't never showed up to one. Now you like, oh, did you see me here? Did you see me at the... Dang, really? And they come exciting telling you, but you thank God that you at the maturity level that it don't hurt you.
Oh, right. Definitely.
Right.
Because people have a free will. People have a free will. They go where they want to go.
Yeah, that's true.
They do what they want to do.
That's true.
Exactly.
And they support whoever they want to.
Just like what you're going to do. Go where we want to go. Do what we want to do. Just like what we going to do.
But what we going to do, we're going to manifestate some things. We're going into manifestation. It's the springtime. We get ready to spring into some stuff. We are manifestation. I'm telling you, some things are getting ready to line up because I ain't never scared. I ain't never scared. I have been scared before. And I'm not saying that sometimes you don't get nervous, because you will get a little nervous.
They'll shake you a little
difference.
Yeah.
Nervous, I can still move in my nervousness. But time has come. We gotta go. It's way over time. And I gotta start getting to work on time. So
Candace said, God hid me in plain sight while working at Walmart until it was time for me to be seen, which happened at a moment that I retired. Waiting on God's timing paid off.
Yes, it did.
It's such a payoff time. But you can't get the payoff time if you're not paying nothing. If you're not putting nothing in
that's why you have to let people stay where they are. Don't come in here with that hating spirit messing up my conference.
Exactly.
Messing up my conference. I believe God. Do you believe God? We believe God. We believe God. We believe God. We believe God. Y'all have a blessed day. We will see you on Terrific Tuesday.